Today we will start with the discussion of methods of measuring price elasticity of demand and its significance. Basically, there are four methods of measurement of price elasticity of demand. The first method is known as percentage method. Percentage method. Measurement of price elasticity of demand. Price elasticity means by default it is price elasticity of demand. The first method is known as percentage method. Second method is known as arc method. Third method is known as geometric method, and fourth method is known as total revenue or total outlay or total expenditure method. Arc method. Third method is known as geometric method. Fourth method is known as total revenue or total outlay or total expenditure method. Same thing. So we are going to discuss about one by one what is percentage method, arc method, geometric method, total outlay or total revenue or total expenditure method. The first method, which is very common for price elasticity of demand, measurement of price elasticity of demand, that is percentage method. The formula for calculating the percentage method is price elasticity of demand is equal to, or we can write EP is equal to percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. So percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. We can take the example, suppose there is 4% change in demand, then EP is equal to 4 divided by, if we are taking 2% change in price, then it would be 2. Price elasticity of demand is equal to 2. Or if we are taking the example, the percentage change in quantity demanded is 2 and percentage change in price is suppose 4. So it would be 1 by 2, which is equal to 0.5, less than 1. So this is the method which is known as computing the price elasticity of demand by percentage method. Now we will discuss the second method, which is known as arc method or midpoint formula. The second method of calculating the price elasticity of demand, arc method. In this method, we take the formula, which is PE is equal to Q2 minus Q1 divided by Q2 plus Q1 upon 2 divided by P2 minus P1 upon P2 plus P1 by 2. So this is known as arc method. Q2 is final price, Q1 is initial price. This would be divided by the average of change in price, Q2 plus Q1 divided by 2. Same price for price, we are taking P2 minus P1 upon P2 plus P1 divided by 2. So this gives the price elasticity of demand, which is more exact. So that's why nowadays the price elasticity of demand is calculated by this method. The third is known as geometric method. The third method of price elasticity of demand is known as geometric method. Geometric method. The formula for calculating geometric method, EP. Here we are writing capital letter. We can write EP also. EP is equal to lower segment of demand curve divided by upper segment of demand curve. Upper segment of demand curve. Now, why we are in what case this method will be used? When you have to calculate the price elasticity of demand, when demand curve is given and you have to calculate the price elasticity of demand. In that case, geometric method will be used. This can be shown with the help of graph also. The third method, geometric method. Suppose we are taking the demand curve AB. This is your demand curve. Price on y-axis, axis we are taking quantity. The demand geometric method, this is the demand curve AB. At this point E would be infinite, and at this point E would be 0. E means we are talking about elasticity of demand, price elasticity of demand. At midpoint, this is suppose M. E is equal to 1. At this point E is greater than 1, and at this point E is less than 1. This is C and D. Now, how this has been calculated? 5 type of elasticity of demand. When the at this point E is infinite, at this point A is 0, here E is equal to unitary, here E is greater than 1, and here E is less than 1. So, how it has been calculated? The formula I have already discussed. Price elasticity of demand according to geometric method. EP is equal to lower segment of demand curve divided by upper segment of demand curve. Here at this point lower segment is AB and upper segment is 0. That's why it is infinite. At this point, at point C, EP is equal to lower segment is CB divided by upper segment AC. So E is greater than 1. Now at this point EP is equal to lower segment MB divided by AM, which is equal to 1. That's why E is equal to 1. At this point D, EP is equal to lower segment is DB. So DB divided by upper segment, that is AM. So E is less than 1, and at this point, point B, lower segment is 0, EP is equal to 0 upon upper segment is AB. So EP is equal to 0. In this way, geometric method, through this method, we have calculated all 5 types of elasticity of demand. One more method is there, total outlay method. The fourth method is known as total outlay method, total revenue method, or total expenditure method. In this method, we calculate the price elasticity of demand depending upon what is the total expenditure or total revenue or total outlay. How total outlay is calculated? Total outlay means P into Q. Total outlay is equal to P into Q. So we are taking, suppose price of a product is 4 rupees, quantity demanded in that case is 350. So total outlay is 4 into 350, it is 1400. When price increased, according to law of demand, the quantity demanded will decrease. So 6 into 200, it is 1200. Further price increase, quantity demanded decreased to 60. In this case, total outlay is 480. Price is increasing, quantity demanded is decreasing, but total outlay is also decreasing. In this case, EP, that is price elasticity of demand, would be more than 1. Second case, when the again price elasticity is calculated through outlay method. Price is increasing 4 rupees, 6 rupees, 8 rupees. Outlay is decreasing from 300 to 200, 200 to 150. But total outlay is constant. It's not changing. It's 1200, 1200, 1200. This is the first case. This is the second case, and this is the third case. And this is the third case. So in first case, total outlay is decreasing, so EP is greater than 1. In second case, it is equal to 1 because total outlay is not changing. In third case, though the price is increasing, quantity demanded is decreasing, but total outlay is increasing. So in this case, EP is less than 1. So three type of elasticity: greater than 1, less than 1, and equal to 1 can be calculated with this method, which is known as total outlay method. So we have discussed four method of calculating the price elasticity of demand: percentage method, second is arc method, third is geometric method, and fourth one is total outlay method. Percentage method is calculated by the formula percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. Second method, arc method, here we are taking the average of change in price. So formula is Q2 minus Q1 upon Q2 plus Q1 divided by 2, and this whole will be divided by P2 minus P1 upon P2 plus P1 upon 2. This is arc method. Third method is geometric method, in which we are taking the demand curve. In demand curve, different point on the curve, the elasticity of demand can be calculated by the formula, which is EP is equal to lower segment of the demand curve divided by upper segment of the demand curve. And the last one is known as total outlay method. In total outlay method, we will calculate the total outlay, which is calculated by P into Q, price into quantity. We have price, we have quantity. We will calculate what is the final expenditure, depending upon whether it is decreasing, remaining constant, or increasing. We have three type of elasticity of demand: greater than 1, is equal to 1, and less than 1. Another term is income elasticity of demand. We have discussed price elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand can be of three types: price elasticity of demand, income elasticity of demand, and cross elasticity of demand. We have already discussed price elasticity of demand, different types of price elasticity of demand, and how it can be calculated, 4 methods. Now, income elasticity of demand. Income elasticity of demand measures how much the quantity demanded of a good responds to a change in consumer's income. So when the consumer income is changing, how the demand of that consumer will get affected. It is computed as the percentage change in the quantity demanded divided by the percentage change in the income. So if we are writing the formula, it would be written income elasticity of demand is equal to change in quantity demanded, or percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in income. So that's why it is known as income elasticity of demand. The income elasticity of demand can be different for the different types of goods. For normal goods, income elasticity is always positive. For inferior good, income elasticity is negative. Now, higher income raises the quantity demanded for normal goods but lowers the quantity demanded of inferior goods. So when the income of a consumer increases, he will always demand more, but that demand would be for the normal good. Rise in the demand would be for normal good. For inferior good, with the rise in the income, the demand for inferior good, it will fall. Why? Because when the income is rising, people will always try to buy some more superior quality product. So the normal good income elasticity would be positive. For inferior good, income elasticity is negative. Third term is cross elasticity of demand. when the price of a particular product is changing, how it will affect the demand of another good, related good. It can be substitute, it can be complementary. So cross elasticity is the ratio of percentage change in quantity demanded for one product to a percentage change in the price of another product, other factors remaining constant. So EP is equal to percentage change in the quantity demanded of product X divided by percentage change in the price of product Y. Cross elasticity of demand, we can write the formula like this. ECP, that is cross elasticity of demand, percentage change in quantity of X, it will be divided by percentage change in price of Y. So X and Y is related in the sense of it can be substitute, it can be complementary. So responsiveness to a change in the price of related commodity is termed as cross elasticity of demand. Positive, it would be always positive for substitute, and it would be negative for complementary goods.